fraud and when it comes to VA benefits, yes, this is real. If you subscribe to the VA OIG reports, you will see how frequent the IG slams not just the VA, but VHA facilities and veteran benefits like disability and education benefits as well. So we're going to take a look at an OIG report, and I'm actually going to ask Jason his thoughts on some information that I'm going to present. Then we're going to talk about the payments being delayed for FY24. So it's going to be the November 1st paycheck because the VA pays in arrears. So we'll talk about that whole debacle, and it's not going to be pretty at all. I can't wait. It's kind of like a WWE, you know. As I watch anything political, it's like watching WWE, but instead of being 8 years old, I'm in my 30s, and now we're talking about the country. So that's nice. Then we're going to talk about the cost of living adjustment. That's coming very, very soon. It will be final in about a month from today. And then, of course, looking at 2025, the biggest changes are going to be your mental health, sleep apnea, and tinnitus changes. So with that, Jason, I want to start it off with the VA OIG report. What I want to do is I'm going to pull it up here. This is the executive summary of the OIG report. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The plan here, though, is I'm gonna give you the summary. Then we're gonna look at the full report, and I'm gonna pick on something specific, and I want your thoughts. And I'm pretty sure everyone, this is Jason's first time seeing this, so we're gonna get some genuine first thoughts on this. I'll leave this link below in the pinned comments, but it talks about effective controls for public DBQs that you can download from the VA continue to pose a significant risk of fraud to the VA. This came out January 4th of this year. And Jason, real quick, 69% of about 32,000 claims, so 22,000 in total, had one or more fraud risk indicators. And so now the VA OIG is looking at public DBQs for fraud. And this is a key word here because indicators does not mean causation. It just means, hey, this looks like this is going on. And as you have different indicators flying, it can indicate, something else is going on. It can indicate this is going on. And so it's not a end all be all assessment, right? The VA OIG is just looking at saying, hey, here's what's going on. Now, when you click the full report, this thing is like 30, 40 pages. We're definitely not reading this. I'm going to go to page 28, Jason. And there's a lot of these indicators are really stupid, in my opinion. We're going to look at the indicators. And then there's one indicator that stands out above all the others. And that's what I want to speak about. So this paragraph, I'm on page 28. It's going to be right at the bottom of page 28, the second to last paragraph. The instances were provided because the review identified numerous claims with public questionnaires, that's the DBQs, with indicators of fraud risk, such as alteration. So that's one indicator. This is the one we're going to speak on. So alteration is one indicator. Contact information discrepancies, that's a second indicator. Examiner's address on the questionnaire was more than 100 miles. And the DBQ states that it was for an in-person exam, right? So the veteran traveled, that's a third indicator. Other evidence of record contradicted the findings of the questionnaire. That's 4. So for instance, veteran evidence says A, the DBQ says B. And then lastly, the veteran refused to report for a VA examination. That's 5. I said lastly, but there's actually 6. And the assignment of 100% VA disability rating occurred without evidence of that condition. And so there's 6 indicators. Now, individually, I don't think these mean anything. But when you have DBQs that have multiple indicators, that's when the question mark at least starts. Now, focusing in on the alteration, and I'm about to kick you a question, Jason. This paragraph right here going into page 29 is it's scary, actually. I don't want to lead your thoughts. I think it's something to pay attention to. So the OIG identified 57 questionnaires representing over a quarter of the total. So let's just assume it's 200, right? So they had a sample size of 200. 57 of those completed during this review contain similar or identical language in questionnaires by different examiners for different veterans across
Okay.
multiple
All
states.
right.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
What the IG is implying, it says at least partly by an entity, and they use that word.
Yeah.
That's a specific
I'm
word choice
already there. Same page.
All right. So what the heck are your thoughts on different
Yeah.
examiners, different veterans across
Yeah.
multiple states that have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
contain
Yeah.
similar or
Yeah.
identical language?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's easy, Clay. It's easy. The paid for service companies that coach you and help you are filling out DBQs because they can download them. They're filling them out with the exception of the provider's information section with the same canned information and sending them off to those organizations to have you complete your DBQ there. So there's obviously there's doctors out there that are focused in on, hey, look, we'll help you with your DBQ, Nexus letter, all that stuff. Right. And those doctors are looking for you as an individual to contact them, or they'll work with they don't care what, look, everybody wants to make money and everybody's lazy. So, they're not going to tell them no, right? They're not going to, oh, well, I'm not going to take it from you because you're going to send me hundreds of these. No, they're going to say, yes, send it. Oh, please, you've already done that. Wonderful. I'll read through it. Sounds good to me. And sign it. Move on. That's my thoughts on it, Clay. What are yours? Because now I'm curious.
It's one of those situations where the more you dig, the more you clean, the more dirt you're going to find, it just keeps getting bad. And I don't want to say all companies are doing this, but clearly out of a sample size of 200, if over a quarter of those had alteration indicators, that's something. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this. Jason's not saying this. This is the VAOIG.
Right.
It's based in evidence. I'm going to leave the link for the full report.
And here's the thing, Clay, is that, look, we're guessing, right?
Yeah.
We don't even know, right? And the OIG is not necessarily saying who it is, what the entity is. Just be careful is really the bottom line, right? I mean, the silver lining sometimes isn't worth the cloud, if you know what I mean. So another aspect here, Clay, because we are getting into this, and I've been a little bit concerned about this, and I've really tried not to talk about it because it's like, look, people do you, and that's cool. But I am almost at the point to where I'm starting to feel like there's more opportunities for people to be put into a bad situation, maybe not even intentionally, by others, right? So, for example, I'll kind of cut to the chase here. We're in a world now where it seems like everybody wants to push out information, and they're pushing out information based on, well, I did my own claim and I was successful. I'm going to teach you how to do your claim, right? And now you have those people out there doing that and then saying, hey, sign up for my extra special cozy services and I'll write your DBQ for you. And I'll use the same thing that I did on mine. And then they do that 57 times for 57 different people that paid them whatever it is, $500. And they did that. And you could be put in that same position. So whether it's one of these big companies out there that's doing it, or some YouTuber with 300 subscribers who's saying that they're a guru, right? I don't even say I'm a guru. And I've probably the only one who's like accredited who's been accredited with any sort of substantial amount of followers, right? I don't even say it. There's plenty that I still don't know, and I'm constantly finding out more. That's why I lean on Clay. So beware is all I'm saying, right? I feel like it's not going to get much better. It's going to get worse, and what's going to end up happening is we're going to lose. They took away, I don't know if you're aware, Clay, several years ago, probably, I don't know, man, 4 years ago or so, when you get my age, things blur a little bit.
4 years is yesterday. It's also 50 years ago.
It was not today.
Yeah.
is all I remember. So about four years ago or so, the VA took away all of their public-facing DBQs off the website. Bam, gone. Nobody had access. All of us accredited individuals, whether it was service organizations or veteran service offices, whatever, were up in arms, like, oh, that's BS. And we fought hard and got them back. It's this type of stuff that's going to make them poof, disappear again. All right, back to you, Clay. Sorry, I had to get on my soapbox for a minute because I do feel like there's a potential bigger problem brewing.